But what is Pereira still doing in Australia, Chael? He fights in 2 weeks.
It's concerning to me. I mean, the whole thing is very concerning. You got Ankalaev is doing no media, no tours, and he's locked down in the Caucasus regions in the mountains. I think that it's relevant.
But I believe, as a guy that's been around the game, and I agree with you, that when he starts to take those kicks, because one of the biggest issues he had with Jan Blachowicz was dealing with the leg kicks. His legs got beat up so badly that he couldn't stand anymore. It looked like the fight was going to get stopped due to leg kicks. We all know Pereira has tremendous leg kicking ability.
Bem-vindos ao canal Clips MMA. Chael Sonnen e Daniel Cormier, assim como muitos fãs, estão preocupados por acharem que o Poatan não está 100% focado nos treinos, indo a shows, fazendo eventos, enquanto o Ankalaev está internado lá no Daguestão, treinando. Vamos conferir, deixem nos comentários o que vocês acham e bora!
Chael, one guy who is not running though is Alex Pereira. He will fight anybody, anytime. He is a bad man, Chael. But Chael, we spoke about this 2 weeks ago, and now my concern level is even higher. This dude was seen in Australia last week still, and he was shaking the hand of Drake as Drake went on stage for his concert. One, Drake constantly loses millions of dollars betting on people, so you kind of don't want Drake to bet on you because he doesn't have the greatest track record for winning. But what is Pereira still doing in Australia, Chael? He fights in 2 weeks.
It's concerning to me. I mean, the whole thing is very concerning. One of the reasons I love Stipe as a fireman is Stipe was able to lock down. The UFC and everybody else respected that schedule so much that he slept in the same bed most nights. He was eating the same food, training with the same people, having the same coaches. It's tough on the road. You can get that training session in, but it usually involves a treadmill at the hotel lobby. Maybe you and your coach clear a little bit of space, even in your room, you do a mitt workout. It's not the same. That training is not the same. Meanwhile, you got Ankalaev is doing no media, no tours, and he's locked down in the Caucasus regions in the mountains. I think that it's relevant. I think that Pereira, listen, he's a 2-to-1 underdog. Talking about Pereira, he's a 2-to-1 underdog.
In this
but
fight,
things like aren't going to change that.
He's the dog in this fight, Pereira is?
Underdog.
Wow.
There is no mythical opponent they've ever put Pereira against, including times where they matched him up at heavyweight. Even a mythical line. The only one that exists is where Pereira is the underdog is Ankalaev, and it's 2-to-1.
That's a big one. And Ankalaev is already here. He's in Vegas. I ran into him at the PI last week. And he is honestly so locked in, ready to win this fight against Alex Pereira. But Chael, he started as an underdog, but now it's even. So the public has bet him to even, Chael. But the people, the odds makers, the people that set the lines, set it in Ankalaev's favor, like you said. But the world they can't see Pereira losing because they're so enamored with him. But I got back from Australia, and all last week, Chael, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I don't care that Pereira's got weeks to get ready. He's going to be ready. He's going to be prepared. But even those 2 to 3 extra days, Chael, while he's adjusting his clock to get back on schedule in Connecticut, then once he's done in Connecticut, to fly to Vegas, right, the week of the fight, get adjusted to 2 more hours. He's going to have to deal with all that travel and all that difference in time. And where's Glover? Is Glover just in Australia with him? Is it just him and Plinio? Because we know that Plinio Cruz has been a massive tool for Alex Pereira. But so has Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira has kids. Glover Teixeira is the guy, honestly, that should be doing the most work with Alex right now because of the wrestling. Plinio's a great grappler, right? Plinio needs to be overseeing Glover just shooting on Pereira because I don't care what Ankalaev says, Chael. He has to be smarter than to go out there and try to just stand with Pereira for 25 minutes. He has to know that he's got to secure takedowns.
Yeah, I agree with that fully. And one thing on paper, though, so many people do believe that we have our classic striker, kickboxer versus wrestler, striker versus grappler. I believe that too for a small period of time. But as you start to really look into Ankalaev, he's a kickboxer. He just happens to be from Pakistan. In fact, when he writes his thing down, who am I representing? He's not representing grappling or sambo or judo or wrestling. He represents kickboxing. He does most of his work, of his better work, on his feet. Now, being on his feet too long, he is susceptible. I think Jan Blachowicz even exposed a little bit of that. I tend to side with you that he's going to say one thing in the media and pull a double cross in the ring. I also think he should do that. But as far as it being a striker versus a grappler, I mean, we got to take these guys at their word. And Ankalaev says about himself, he says, I'm a kickboxer. We're forced to accept that.
Yeah, we are. We have to believe him, right? When a guy tells you something and he tells you in that way, you got to believe him. But I believe, as a guy that's been around the game, and I agree with you, that when he starts to take those kicks, because one of the biggest issues he had with Jan Blachowicz was dealing with the leg kicks. And his legs got beat up so badly that he couldn't stand anymore. It looked like the fight was going to get stopped due to leg kicks. We all know Pereira has tremendous leg kicking ability. We're going to see that guy that fought round 4 and 5 against Blachowicz, especially as they're watching their video footage and seeing that Blachowicz was able to hold Pereira down for extended periods of time. Pereira better get home. He needs to get home right now and make sure he's locked in, because he does have the hardest fight of his title reign to this point, I think, Chael Pete.